Live, local, late breaking. This is 4029 News Sunrise.
Good Saturday morning, and thanks for waking up with 4029 News Sunrise. I'm Jamie Weiss.
And I'm Christopher Redfern. Your top stories are just ahead, but first, we do want to get a look at your Get Ready forecast. We have 4029's Laura Huckabee here with us this morning. Good Saturday morning, Laura.
Good morning.
Thanks, Laura. Well, new this morning, a man accused of murder is out of jail after being released on bond.
75-year-old William Smith of Prairie Grove was arrested Wednesday on first-degree murder charges.
This morning, we're waking up under a partial government shutdown after lawmakers failed to come to an agreement on a funding bill. We're taking a live look out in Washington, D.C. this morning, where lawmakers will return to the Capitol this morning to try and find a solution. 4029's Matt Pritchard is in Washington with how long the shutdown is expected to last.
Jamie, both sides appear ready for the long haul as Democrats stand firmly against the wall and President Trump demands funding before the new Congress convenes.
About 800,000 workers will be impacted by the shutdown. Almost half will stay home during the shutdown. The other will continue to work without pay. And some of our local lawmakers are speaking out on the shutdown. Congressman Steve Womack, just one of the representatives who will be back in the Capitol today. Womack released a statement after the House adjourned last night saying, quote, Democrats have shown their hand. They prefer open borders over an open government. Adding, quote, it is unacceptable to hold the government hostage to play political games. For more political coverage, tune in to 4029 Sundays for Matter of Fact with Soledad O'Brien. You can catch it each morning at 5:30 and 10 o'clock, and again each Sunday night at 11:30.
Now, if you're one of those nearly 7 million Americans hitting the skies this weekend, there are a few things you can do to make your trip a little bit easier.
4029's Paul Petit checked in with the director at XNA about the do's and don'ts this holiday season. Well, if you're staying here at home, there are some events you can check out to get into the holiday spirit.
Yeah, there's a lot happening this weekend. So today, if you head over to the Jones Center at 4 o'clock.
If you are looking to grab some last-minute gifts, there are a few events to check out today. The Fort Smith Farmers Market will be open today, offering some unique gifts ahead of Christmas. That began at 8 o'clock. And in Rogers, the Farmers Market at Frisco Station Mall will be open. That's happening today from 10 till 2. And if you're shopping for a fan of the outdoors, check out the gun show in Fort Smith. That's happening this weekend at the Fort Smith Convention Center. A variety of vendors will have guns, hunting supplies, military surplus, and outdoor gear available. Vendors there can give you ideas and answer your questions, plus help you find what you're looking for. That's happening today and tomorrow at 9 o'clock each morning. Tickets start at just $10. The holidays are also a great time to make some changes in your life.
Yeah, that's right. How you can prepare for your New Year's resolution and get the new year off to a great start coming up. Well, this morning we know the Arkansas Department of Health is saying that a 6th person has died from the flu this season.
The latest, a 3-year-old boy from DeQueen, according to the school superintendent there. It's the first pediatric death we've had this season in Arkansas. Doctors expect to see a rise in flu cases after the holidays and want to warn parents about keeping their families healthy, especially young kids and grandparents.
We'll always see an increase in influenza rates after holidays. There are lots of viruses and colds running around, and so it's always hard for parents to decide, when should I go to the doctor?
Doctors say it's still not too late to get a flu shot, and you should if you haven't already. Well, between planning for gifts and holiday celebrations, prioritizing our health can take a back burner this holiday season.
Yeah, there are a few quick and easy ways to make sure you are keeping yourself and your loved ones safe as you embark on those holiday travels. ABC's Lana Zach has the details in today's Medical Minute.
You'll also want to keep an eye on your plate over the next few weeks.
Yeah, the average person packs on 1 to 2 pounds during the holiday season, and research shows that those couple of pounds, they're actually a major contributor to yearly weight gain whenever you actually add it all up in the end. So there are a few tricks to keep the numbers on the scale from sliding higher 2019, or we want to know what you plan to work on in 2019, I should
Chris,
say.
I know you don't do New Year's resolutions, but we want to hear, so head over to our 4029 Facebook page right now. Let us know what your New Year's resolutions are. This week and next week, we'll be sharing what you have planned, as well as some tips to make sure you stay on track. Welcome back to 4029 News Sunrise. Time is 8:18, and we're taking a live local look out over Lowell at the JB Hunt camera. Things are moving pretty smooth, and It's the
Looks
holiday
nice and
season.
bright out there
Nice
this
and
morning.
bright. We've been talking about New Year's resolutions. I know it's always kind of hard because everyone always does the lose weight, get in shape.
What are you doing? Are you doing one this year?
So I have two. I have one, which we kind of talked about earlier. Mine is just to be happy, like be good. That's one that I feel like I can accomplish no
There you
matter
go.
what. The other is I want to learn how to run. So Laura, I need you to teach me.
I was about to say, you have a good instructor right here.
I know. Well, that'd be great. I mean, those are both great goals to have for sure. And the running part really is easy.
And with the weather this week, you could start your training
could
now.
start.
You could start ahead of the new year.
I can eat
9:01.
Christmas cookies.
Yeah,
so-
okay, or that option.
That's right.
Just milk it all the way until the new year.
Exactly. I gotta wait
Exactly.
until
I gotcha.
January 1st.
Exactly. Otherwise, if you're going to head out and do a little exercising today, or maybe it's good cookie eating weather as well, plenty of sunshine and unseasonably warm temperatures.
This morning, engineers are working on a plan to douse the burning stump dump in Bella Vista.
In the city's latest update, they say a representative from the engineering firm contracted after the governor's announcement toured the dump site Friday, along with the ADEQ. Governor Asa Hutchinson has approved funds for the engineering work, and officials say the representative is taking the information from the tour to her team to put together a remediation plan. The Lowell City Council passing their 2019 budget for the next year at an emergency meeting. The budget was originally tabled at their last meeting earlier this month. Then council members had discussed waiting until the new members and city's mayor-elect Chris Moore took office in January. Moore told 4029 News previously that he had wanted more time to review the budget, specifically looking at money allocated for a new police department before the city had passed it.
A lawsuit filed in Little Rock asking a judge to stop the government from using taxpayer money to widen state highways.
The lawsuit centers around Arkansas Amendment 91, a half-cent sales tax to be used to pay for a statewide 4-lane highway system. The lawsuit claims, however, that part of that money, about $450 million, is now being used to improve I-30 in Little Rock, which is a 6-lane highway. That's according to an article from the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. The lawsuit says that's illegal and asks for all money used to be repaid to the account. Time is now 8:24.
And speaking of highways, let's go ahead and get a check of the roads with 4029's Laura Huckabee.
Live, local, late breaking. This is 4029 News Sunrise.
Welcome back to 4029 News Sunrise. Right now, we're about to take a live look out over Washington, D.C. Or at least I thought we were. Maybe we'll take that a little bit later.
To Sunrise.
Sorry
We're
about
gonna
that.
send it over to Laura Huckabee and get a look at our weather this morning. Laura, how's it looking out there?
Well, likely looking at Washington, D.C. because there have been several places in the north and east that have been hit by strong thunder showers and also some places that have had some snow.
Laura. All right, now we'll try it again. Now we are taking a live look out over Washington, D.C. This is where lawmakers will return to the Capitol this morning to try to find a solution to that ongoing budget showdown. Despite last-ditch efforts from both sides, Congress cannot come to a deal, and the government is now partially shut down.
The blame is being passed around as federal workers are left hanging in the balance just days before the holidays. ABC's Maggie Rulli has the latest. A man who claims to have killed as many as 90 people across the country now giving police more details of his murders. The police have released this sketch drawn by Samuel Little, hoping to identify some of the women Little says he murdered. This one from more than 45 years ago in Maryland. And officers in Washington say he's recently confessed to a slaying there, giving detectives unreported details about the unsolved case. Right now, the 78-year-old is serving life sentences for killings in California and Texas. He says he's killed 3 women in Arkansas. None of those have been confirmed. 2 prison escapees are back behind bars after a heart-stopping car chase with deputies in Ohio. Officials say the prisoners bolted from a Kentucky jail Thursday afternoon. They were spotted by officials more than 100 miles north of the prison. You could see sheriff's deputies weaving in and out of traffic, trying to keep up, at one point driving 100 miles an hour. Officials say they kept with the chase because they couldn't risk allowing 2 desperate escapees to get away.
Just breaking out alone, that shows that they're desperate. You don't know what they'll do.
Deputies stopped the cars with spike strips. Then the escapees ran, but a canine officer tracked them down. Meanwhile, in Colorado, the fiance of a missing Colorado mother now arrested and charged with her murder. His arrest caught on video exclusively by ABC News. Heavily armed police, some wearing camouflage, moving in. Handcuffs put on Patrick Frazee as he was driving away from his home. The 29-year-old fiance and mother of their child was last seen on Thanksgiving Day. Police now say they believe she's dead. Frazee is being held without bond this morning, and his next court date is on the 31st. Well, the Arkansas Razorbacks had a big surprise this week during their recruiting.
Needed it. What head coach Chad Morris is saying about their haul, and also how the experts around the country are rating that 2019 class.
Looking forward to that. Well, in sports news, it was a disappointing first season under new head coach Chad Morris, but the Hogs are already off to a pretty good start for year 2.
Yeah, it was pretty painful this season, but after a massive first day of the early signing period, the Hogs defensive coaches, they got a signed letter of intent from Devin Bush. He's a stud quarterback from New Orleans. Bush had offers from Clemson, Georgia, Notre Dame, OU, a few others. He picked Arkansas, though. He's a blazing speed kind of guy, just what our football doctor ordered.
We're faster. We're not anywhere where we need to be, but we're faster than what we were. And we're going to continue to address that. We're anticipating signing somewhere 8 to 9 between now and February 6th. And I assure you in that 8 to 9 we'll address the speed and the areas of emphasis that we've already hit on.
The Razorbacks have now signed 27 players, and Rivals.com has the 2019 class ranked as the 13th best in the nation, so not too bad. Not everyone having as smooth of a recruiting day as Arkansas did, though. I love this.
LSU head coach Ed Orgeron was holding his press conference while his team was practicing, and he had to stop because of the sound. Check this out.
Hold on a second. Hey, guys! Hey! I'm having a press conference, okay? Thank you. Great young man. So proud that we have him. We fixed the line of scrimmage. We wanted to get bigger. I'll stop. Hey! Stop the ball. Stop the drill. I'm having a press conference. Thank you. We had to fix the line of scrimmage. Went all the way to Michigan.
Yikes, I can't stop laughing at that.
Well, he sounds exactly like what you think a football coach would sound like. The way he's yelling at him, it's great.
Despite all that, though, LSU has plenty to be happy about. They signed the 4th-ranked recruiting class in the country.
Yeah,
so
it'll probably be good again.
A happy ending to that.
The new football season still a little while away, but the Razorbacks basketball team, they'll hit the court today to take on Texas State. That game starts at 1 o'clock, but the fun continues after the game as well. If you stick around at Bud Walton Arena, there'll be a free showing of one of my favorites, Home Alone, and that'll be right after the game. Welcome back to 4029 News Sunrise. We're taking a live look out at Prairie Creek Marina in Rogers. Beautiful sunrise, nice blue skies, sun shining. Should be a really nice Saturday. Now, over the break, we were kind of chatting about it. With the whole government shutdown thing going on right now, are they still going to track Santa? Because that's always one of the coolest things for all the kids.
So this is really interesting that I saw on our 4029 website. So NORAD, that's the North American Aerospace Defense Command. They're the ones that track Santa every year. They're still coming in. They're still going to track Santa. So we have something to look forward to on Christmas Eve.
That's right. Last time when we had a government shutdown, I went over to the National Weather Service in Tulsa, and people don't realize that that too is an office that is closed. And graciously, the great folks there right up and running.
Ask, were they there on
they were up and running, keeping an eye on everything. Yeah, amazing group of folks, the National Weather Service, so you bet. Let's talk about sunshine today in Northwest Arkansas as well as the River Valley.
Well, new this morning, a man accused of murder is out of jail after being released on bond.
75-year-old William Smith of Prairie Grove was arrested Wednesday on first-degree murder charges. Engineers are working on a plan to douse the burning stump dump fire in Bella Vista.
In the city's latest update, they say a representative from the engineering firm contracted after the governor's announcement toured the dump site Friday, along with the ADEQ. Governor Asa Hutchinson has approved funds for the engineering work. Officials say the representative is taking the information from the tour to her team to put together a remediation plan. And the city of Lowell passing their 2019 budget for the next year at an emergency meeting. The budget was originally tabled at their last meeting earlier this month. Then council members had discussed waiting until their new members and city's mayor-elect Chris Moore took office in January. Moore told 4029 News previously that he had wanted more time to review the budget, specifically looking at more money allocated for a new police department before the city had passed it. Well, time is now 8:51.
And I know we've been seeing a lot of people going to the airport this morning. There's a big travel weekend, but how are the roads looking around here locally, Laura?
Crazy to believe right now we are just 2 days, 15 hours, 8 minutes away from Christmas. And as millions of Americans get ready to travel, like Laura said, on the roads, a storm along the East Coast is causing massive delays in the air.
According to the tracking website Flight Aware, there's more than 8,000 flights that have been delayed today, almost 400 canceled, and that includes a 7 a.m. flight this morning right here in our area at a XNA. That was going to Charlotte. We're taking a live look at the Northwest Arkansas Regional Airport right now. That's where that delay was earlier today. Now, if you're one of the nearly 7 million Americans hitting the skies this weekend, there are a few tips, tricks you can use to make your trip a little bit easier.
4029's Paul Petit checked in with the director at XNA about the do's and don'ts this holiday season. If you're staying here at home, there are some events you can check out to get into the holiday spirit.
Yeah, there's a lot of them happening this weekend. So this is happening today. If you head over to the Jones Center at 4 o'clock,
if you're looking to grab some last-minute gifts, there are still a few events that you can check out today. The Fort Smith Farmers Market will be open today, offering some unique Christmas gifts ahead of Christmas. That started at 8 o'clock this morning. And in Rogers, the Farmers Market there will be open at Frisco Station Mall. That's happening from 10 till 2. And say you're still shopping for a fan of the outdoors. Well, check this out. The gun show in Fort Smith is happening all weekend long at the Fort Smith Convention Center. A variety of vendors will have guns, hunting supplies, military surplus, and outdoor gear available. Vendors there can give you ideas and answer your questions, plus help you find what you're looking for. That's happening today and tomorrow at 9 o'clock each morning. Tickets start at just $10.